There we go. Alt R for some reason brings up my video card properties, even though it says Alt R in Zoom. All right. All right, well, here we go. So where did we leave off?
We finished number 7.
Okay. All right, so Samuel, we'll call on you again.
Okay. I didn't open the Google Doc one.
The link should still be valid from the chat yesterday.
Okay.
There's been a mosquito flying around my house for like 3 days and I can't catch it. And it knows it. And it's taunting me by way of bug bites. I hate mosquitoes.
I hate being at work.
But you get to make money. All right, here we go. I'm sorry, I hope you can't hear that.
Can't hear anything.
Okay, good.
Oh, no, these people are doing.
All right, I put it on there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Missing some pointings.
I'm sure.
Is somebody going to share the screen? I can't share today.
Oh, you can't see the, okay.
No, I can see it, but it's not being shared for the video.
Oh yeah. Right. Duh. Better.
Why is it so small? Okay. Now you see, no, don't do that.
No, that's not
Make
good.
make it back 0. And then you see there's a view, but there's a percentage button by it says Times New Roman. Yeah, okay, right there. Pull it down the arrow, go to 200. Okay.
All right. Okay. Anybody notice anything other than Jason?
Other than Jason.
In other words, Marcelo, do you see anything that you could amend?
I'm trying.
Jason's giving you hints.
How do you know that's me?
He just can't help himself. Because it says Jason Hare.
Oh, why doesn't it say anonymous rabbit?
It does.
Should say anonymous rabbit.
Well, mine says Jason Hare, probably because you're in my address book.
Probably because it's my document. Hold on.
I'm not sure what to do on those.
So yeah, so this isn't now that I look at it, it's not a patok because the word is yom.
Shalom.
So
Well, no, it's an A class vowel. Yom is one
So
of those.
it should just be a kamatz,
Yes.
but nothing else.
Right.
Okay.
that makes
Okay.
sense. That makes sense.
Uh-huh. What else?
Hmm.
I'm not sure why I put the Dagish in Ravim. Ravim.
I think that actually is that's actually correct. Rabim. I'm not exactly sure why.
But it
But they're
doesn't have
also-
the definite article, right?
Right. It is Rabim.
Rabim.
Rav and Rabim.
Okay, I probably
So-
looked that one up then.
I'm trying to think if that tilod shouldn't it just be ladat ladata or ladat?
Sarah bore a son.
Sarah Bor.
It's from Yalad.
Uh-huh.
What other first yod verbs have we had before? We've had yashav.
Yada.
Yada.
Right. so we're talk-
Yada's different though because it's third guttural too. So it's going to look a little different than this one. But that is the standard call pattern if there weren't any, if it wasn't a particular type of verb, that would be right, unfortunately.
Right. We were talking about it yesterday.
It's interesting, these verbs that lose their first root letter, they tend to be e-thematic, like they tend to have a in the future. We have the normal pattern is of course o, the o theme verbs, but there are also a, like yilmad, yishkav, yirkav, words that have a instead of o. But these ones that lose their first radical tend to go with e, with the tsere. 1 second.
mhm.
So Jason gave you hints.
Yeah. We talked about it a couple of times. So I think it's something more like that.
Yes, it is. It is. The form is teled or teled. I will continue to distinguish between the two so that you can tell the difference between a segal and a seri when I speak. But since you put the vav on the front of it, one of those vowels is going to change
Oh,
because the accent shifts.
so the accent would be here.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I'm right.
I would go to a Segol then.
Yes, I think I'm right. Now I'm second guessing myself. It's
Sorry, I missed things.
it's a one of those weird verbs, right, Jason?
But
it's
the
an-
accent's going to shift. It's not going to be vateled, but vateled.
Right. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't telling him wrong.
So the accent is there.
Oh,
But
so
like
the
it's like
Segol's on the
vayeled.
Lamed.
Hmm?
The Segol's on the Lamed.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's unaccented closed syllable. So it has to be short.
Hmm.
hmm.
Mhm. And you're missing a word.
Oh yeah, I think I probably accidentally deleted it.
Where would you put it?
Maybe here after Abraham.
You could.
It's one of
Yeah.
them. If you put it there, it's going to
No,
interrupt
because
the
you have
apposition.
her husband after it, so it wouldn't be there.
Right, this is apposition.
To Abraham, right?
Because it would say then, Sarah gave birth to Abraham, a son, her husband.
Yeah.
I would put it after Isha, but you could put it elsewhere. You could put it after Sarah as well.
Yeah, Bor.
Vateled,
probably right,
Vateled.
yeah.
That's where Jason would put it.
Vateled Sarah ben LaAvraham. But because it's not construct, that should be tzere.
Correct.
Yes.
Vain.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Isha is her man, her husband. Yeah. There's another way to say her husband. Do you remember?
Not very common.
Um,
If you're talking about Baal.
Oh, like her lord or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not. I mean, it's the more common way today to say my husband is Baali.
Yeah. Not common then. Probably more respectful than well, is what's wife? What do you use for wife?
The same. Ishti.
Okay, interesting. All right. According to the word of Yahweh.
But there's no justification for this being without Dagesh.
Nope.
Because the hey is a consonant. It's not a vowel. It's Nevriut.
Thanks. Good.
You know what I mean? That's a consonant. The hey with Dagesh, the hey mapik, is a
Yeah.
consonant. It's not a vowel. And so when the beged kefet letter comes after a consonant, it has to have Dagesh lene. Yeah. And the noun pattern has kamat, but the verb pattern has patach. You know what I mean? The katal verb pattern. Nouns have kamats. Verbs have patach.
Yes.
This is a noun, but it's also in construct.
Yes.
The word of the Lord.
So how do you remember how to make how to make a noun, put it in the construct state or the smichut state, the bound state, what would you
Remember,
do to davar?
you shift the accent to the end and you have to, oops, I didn't mean to refresh the page.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking of the plural. The singular, it's left alone, right? It's just
No,
that,
you have to
No,
shift the
it's not.
accent.
but like the plural is davrei, so you add the sere yod,
Divrei
divrei.
for the plural.
You have to think in terms of the accent, the word's accent. The accent is shifted.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have a closed syllable, right? Remember, when you have the accent, you've got the near syllable is long, or if
Yes.
it's closed, then it's short because it's unaccented. And distant syllables are reduced. So you have to think in terms of syllabification.
So then it would change to a patak, right?
Yeah, it changes to patach, but that's because it's
In
because of
construct.
construct.
Mm-hmm.
And this one also has to change.
I would say it has to reduce
What's it
Um,
reduced to?
Shiva.
Yes.
Okay, and this one can't be
It can't be
Can't be-
short.
well, it can't be with patach. It can't be the word because the concept of definiteness is attached to Adonai.
Right.
Mm.
So naturally it would be Shva. But then you have two Shvas in side by side, and you can't do that either.
This was a hard one.
Okay. So
What happens when you have two Shvas side by side, one after the other?
What happened in the case of divrei? Not divrei.
well, one changes to the Hirik.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's it. Ki dvar Adonai. And this doesn't have dagesh because there's no article, right? It's after a vowel.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That was a tricky one.
Mm-hmm.
Ki dvar Adonai according to the word of the Lord.
Kitvar. Mm-hmm.
Jonathan, you want to move the screen down a bit?
Oh, sure.
To maximize screen space, what I do is I do F11.
Yeah,
to make
full
it
screen.
full screen. And then on the top right, there's a little arrow. On the top right, under the word
This
share.
one here, hide the menus.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
we go.
Now that maximizes the screen space.
Jason's so efficient.
Yeah. So now we're on the top of the next page.
All right. Vatikro shmo. Vatikro. There are O-theme verbs in the imperfect, and there are, I don't know why I'm reading this.
Mhm.
18 verbs in the perfect. Imperfect.
Okay, so it's normal to say like Yishpot, right? He will judge, right?
Mhm.
But if you have this word, how do you do the future? Yishloach, Yishloach? No, not Yishloach, but Yishlach.
Yishlach.
Lilmod is to learn. Yilmad, not Yilmod. Lirkov is to ride. Lirkov. The future you say yirkav. Lishkov is to lie down. The future you say yishkav. Yishkav. These are a theme verbs in the imperfect.
Hmm.
It always happens, I think.
Yep.
I think it always happens that if it's third aleph,
Yep.
that is lamed aleph, then it's a theme. So likuro, to call, but yikra,
Yeah.
Hmm.
he will call. And the aleph, because it's not a vowel, it's quiescent, makes this come out, just like a final hey.
Oh. Wow. But it's because of the verb, right?
Yep.
Okay.
There are verbs that belong to these classes, these thematic groupings. And these things you just learn by experience.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think everyone, when they're learning Hebrew, will say yilmod. He will learn. Ani yilmod. I think everyone will say that, but you have to learn that it's not yilmod, but yilmad.
So vatikra.
Yeah, and she will call. She called. Okay, this is missing a particle because it's definite.
Right?
Uh,
Does that make sense, Samuel?
so the direct object marker.
Yes.
Oops.
I mean, in later Hebrew, it can drop off, but it doesn't here.
You should learn to do it all the time.
Right.
And then when you read it and it's not there, you say, Funny that all the way back to the time of Bar Kokhba, the 130s AD, we have coins and not coins, but letters and stuff that Bar Kokhba wrote and people writing to him. They used Hebrew. They were extremely nationalistic, and they were trying to revive Hebrew as the standard language of Jewish people. And they did the same thing in their writing that people do today, which is like instead of so in Vatikra et Shmo, if we have Hashem Shel Hayeled, the name of the boy, instead of saying Hashem et Hashem, they would say Tashem. Vatikra Tashem Shel Hayeled, Tashem. And we speak like that today. Like we take et ha and make it ta. And attach it with an apostrophe. It's brilliant. We find that way back in the time of Bar Kokhba, and it seems like a modernization of the language. That the et can drop out and become just ta. When it's et, ha, whatever it is, it can become just ta. Very neat.
Yeah,
But
like a
that's
contraction.
Yeah, it's like Yehonatan becoming Yonatan.
I love contractions. I love contractions. That was my favorite thing in Greek when we got to contractions. I was like, this is neat. I understand something.
An example is yesterday, I had a friend coming over and I wasn't going to be able to open the door because I was busy with things. So I wrote him a note saying, Hisharti ta delet tucha. I left the door open. Hisharti ta delet tucha. Ta delet means et hadelet. And everybody knows that in Israel. You say "Isharti tadelet ptucha," and they know that's what it means. I have a
Do
guess.
you always use it for direct objects?
You have to use "et," but they shorten it. It's nice.
Right, but I didn't know you still used it. Okay, neat.
Hmm.
All right. She called his name Isaac, for she said, translate what you have there.
For she said,
Well, wait a minute. Why's the vav on the front of it?
for that's before I knew, right, that it wouldn't have a vav consecutive, right?
It wouldn't, because it has a key. It has a key there introducing the clause,
Yeah.
right? So you thought maybe it's a vav because it's starting a new clause, but the clause is marked by the key.
Yes, that's what I was
Right.
thinking.
Okay.
So
And even if it was, it would be tomar. And it would be tomer, actually, right? Vayomer, vatomer, the same things that happens with Yalad that you just saw.
So would this be the amra?
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing it's that.
Kamat's under the olive.
Um,
That's right. Amra.
that's right, amra.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so she said, that's so, well, this is another vav consecutive.
Is it? It's a quotation. It's not narrative. Right? It's
Sorry,
direct
sorry,
speech.
I missed your comment. I think you were asking if we still use "et." We do. Consistently,
Okay,
all the time.
I did not know that.
All the time.
Neat. I learned something.
Would
Not
this,
that I don't learn stuff when Jason teaches me.
would this to introduce quotations like direct speech, should we just put Lemore?
No, I don't think so. If you have that in this, you would always have saying, like
Okay.
a quotation mark. But here, I don't think you need anything.
Right. Once you have Amra, you kind of expect her to have direct speech after that. What's the root for laughter?
Tzachak, right?
Exactly. So there's no justification for dropping the kuf, right? Kuf doesn't disappear.
Jason, I think I have pretty well established that you're an auditory guy.
Sachak. There's a.
I'm not making fun of you because that's how I work too. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it fell off.
Fun to see.
Okay. But remember that her son's name is Yitzchak. Yitzchak. Yeah. So we're going to use that root. Sachak, because she's probably playing with Sachak, Yitzchak.
Absolutely.
Because otherwise we could use probably sin. Sachak and Sachak are the same. They both mean to laugh or to play in the Bible. In modern Hebrew, Sachak we use in the PL to mean play, l'sachek. But okay, so I think Jonathan told you that when you're starting a quotation, you won't use vav consecutive, right?
Because it's not in narrative discourse. I don't think it's used in quotations.
Well, there's certainly no reason to start.
I wouldn't say that it's never used in quotations, but not very often.
It is used in speech, but there's no reason to start speech with it.
All right, so
It's because, we're going to get a quote within a quote, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ki amra.
But she says, I laughed. It's hak. That's also a 18 vowel, 18 verb, by the way. It's hak. And you know that by
Yeah,
the
it's
name.
also
hak.
first olive. Yeah.
But this is I left.
Yes.
Oh, he had it that way because he was taking it past narrative, so that would make it
Yeah.
past tense.
Mm.
I got you.
Yeah, Chachika is she left. We don't want to say she left when they said to me, but I left.
Ah, yes.
Mhm. Yeah. This is why we say that first person is common gender.
Yes.
It's for both men and women. Chachakti can be a woman saying I left or a man saying I left. By the way, you will find in forms that the form T, like Chachakti, the T form, there is some ambiguity. It could be sometimes a second person feminine, like in some forms. Some forms you'll see that there's some ambiguity between the feminine second person and the first person common. Just so you know, sometimes
Wow.
there's ambiguity. I'm not going to explain it to you because it's a bit complicated, but sometimes it appears.
Maybe we can have Jason do a symposium one of these days. He loves his symposia.
I haven't done a symposium in a long time.
Also called academic soapbox.
Yeah. Okay, I
see
found
what you're
another
doing with-
mistake.
I see what you're doing with the next one is you're trying to make an infinitive construct, right?
Oh, yes, that's what I was doing.
Right.
But you're on the
So-
right track.
You're on the right track. This is normally emol, not amol. But because you're adding a suffix to it, remember that the historical root of infinitive construct is uu. Uu is that's the historical structure of infinitives. Uu. And then things jump off of there. So with emol, the u becomes o, and I don't know what happens to that first vowel, but it becomes eh somehow. But whenever we have a suffix like my speaking, right, that breaks the syllable. And then suddenly that u is in an unaccented closed syllable, it becomes o. Omri. Omri is my saying. Okay, so whenever you say, when they said to me, be omram. Be omram. Ram is theirs.
Yeah, in their saying when they said.
In their saying.
This is not an easy structure to put together.
Nope, I think I even missed it.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna check my notes, see what I came up with for this one.
So Sachakti be'omram elai. I
Oh.
laughed when they said to me. Remember, el and al take the feminine or the plural suffixes. Like if you were saying horses or dogs or houses.
They're saying to me.
Thou wilt bear a son. And this is kind of unnecessary. But
I think Wine mentioned that.
okay. Tilde. Not tilde, but tilde. Ben.
I definitely missed it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Sachakti be'omram elai at tilde ben. Great.
Uh-huh. Good.
Oops.
All right. How shall we proceed with
I
can try this one if you guys
yeah, go for it.
and see where I go with it. Oops.
remember that the gadal would be past tense and the future would have a yod.
Yeah.
That's my what hold on.
It's
Yeah.
like a Sesame Street ringtone.
Mhm.
That doesn't sound, doesn't look right at all.
It does not.
Uh,
Do you need a definite article in the construct state?
right.
And it's the ways, not the way.
But, yeah. Is this right?
Nope. That's the absolute state. The somech. What's let's see. What's horse of Seuss and what's horses of Seuss, right? The seriode.
Gotcha.
So the seriode ending. Uh-huh.
Sneaky people.
What?
They called to ask about coming to eat breakfast in the hotel tomorrow, and I explained to them the price and the time and all of this, and that they need to have like a vaccination card and what. And then they said, "Oh, and can we have access to the pool as well?" I'm like, "No, you don't get access to the pool by having breakfast." It's funny. Anyway,
Is the pool open?
not to the public; it's only to guests.
But it is open, okay.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
need to go and make sure that the things outside are covered. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
gonna
I
sneak
guess
in.
that person has never stayed in a hotel before.
I'll be right back.
All right. Ways of his father. You did put the space in there, maybe subconsciously, because you are missing a letter there in that spot. Yes,
Eh,
Aviv. Uh-huh. And this is kind of difficult.
So this
Could do this a number of different ways. Only is rock.
See that again?
Rock. Reish Patakov. Rock.
So that come before he did?
Well, put it where you think it is, because you could put it in a bunch of different places, or in at least a couple of different places.
Would you say only was? Reish?
Rock. Reish Patakov.
Oh, okay.
Patak.
Eh,
Pathak.
He did. Asa, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oops. What did I do?
You had it right.
I just made that screen disappear. Oh God, come on. Seriously? Okay, it's back.
It's still here for us.
I know it is. Which is the good thing about this sharing documents stuff. So how do I do the sin? No. Every time I try this, it quits the page. I don't know how to point this sin, sorry. I'll have to
It's a iron scene, or yeah, iron scene.
yeah, I just don't know how to
There you go, you got it.
No,
Or is
I
that-
wanted to point the scene, but I
Oh,
can't figure out how.
Yeah.
I
Any
told you to
keyboard
switch
combination.
keyboards.
Not working. Share.
That which
Oh.
was good. Not a share.
That which is
That which was good, since it's with an adjective. Does that make sense? Is that a
it
suitable
does.
hint?
I forgot how to put that together.
Hatov. A relative hey.
Wait.
Well, with a tet. Hatov. Are you an auditory learner too?
Yeah.
Good.
But that. Well, this is the good. So this is the good.
Well, it's either the good but there's also a hey relative that functions like a share does.
That's the one I don't remember.
Yeah, we haven't run into it that much. But if you said asher tov, I wonder if you could, but it's an adjective, so probably not. I don't think you could. I don't think you can use the asher with an adjective. But I'm not sure because I'm saying that for the first time, just thinking through it on the spot. So I could be wrong. So don't quote me on that one.
Hang on a minute. That which I don't know.
That which is the hatov. The ha on the front is like asher.
So it's just ha, the good. That which and is just a ha.
Yes,
Okay.
it's called the hey relative. Maybe I'll do that for the next Gesenius reading.
So this is like haya, the A9.
Did only that which well, you don't need to have the verb there, do you?
Right.
I would leave it out. That would be the most common to leave it out. I mean,
Okay. So
yeah, you could use hayatov, I guess, but it wouldn't happen that much. You're also missing a bet on the hatov. Right?
I'm missing.
It's not hato, it's hatov.
Oh,
Right? There you go.
So
But
this,
but a naim is right. But what's his eyes? This is the eyes.
the eyes of him.
I'm sorry, this is in eyes, but a nine. What's in his eyes?
Ineja. Ne. Is that right?
No, not quite. That's your
That's-
eyes.
Your eyes.
Yeah. B A nav.
Ah, okay.
A nay. This is in the eyes of. And then this,
His.
well, yeah, but since it's plural, it's an A class vowel. There's a connecting vowel, and then a third masculine singular suffix. But a nav.
Okay.
Now, one question for you. This first verb is right. Can you point it?
Yeah. Wait. Where's my cursor? I'm confused. There's so many cursors.
Oh, really? You can still see mine?
Yeah. So this would be Vaigda, right? Vaigdal.
Vayigdal. That means he will grow. He grew. I think, does Weingren give you a footnote for that one? Samuel?
I think so.
What does he say?
I think that
Does he
that
use
looks
that?
right. Yeah, yeah. Good
Okay.
call.
Okay.
Mhm.
He just
Yeah.
says it's a regular call.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Yes, then that's correct. Except you're missing one thing. There you go. Good work.
So Hana Ar.
Why did you put a kamatz under the hay and not a patach under the hay?
I don't know. There's too many patachs, I guess.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good visual intuition, but it would be fine to put a patach there because
Okay.
there's no guttural there either, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here we have another verb form. First yod.
Vailach, right?
This is the same pattern as yalad that Samuel had.
Yalad.
It was vayeled, right? And we've seen this before, vayelech, with a segol and a sere. Sere, or a segol on the second syllable instead of a kamatz.
Come on.
Segol, 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 segol. See, this is why I distinguish. And you need to have yelech. Jason is going to be driven crazy this class, but it should have a sere instead of a
Got it.
Mhm.
now.
Accent.
Well, okay, Jason can help with the accents. Now, good luck with this one. Maybe we can tag team this one.
Yeah, in the ways of
Why
his
don't you start
father.
with this one and then work your way back? Because when you point construct, you kind of go backwards. Now that's an open syllable that's unaccented.
So it has to be long.
Okay.
Remember in unaccented syllables, open, long, closed, short.
Mm-hmm.
That's your rule. All right, great. Mhm.
So let's see, is this,
Let's start at the end and work back. That's the best way to do it. So this is the tone. The accent is on this word, right? Because in construct,
uh-huh,
right? So this is near,
but the,
and it's historic long, can't ever be reduced, right? This one is distant, that one's distant, and that one's a preposition. So what happens to distant syllables?
they shorten,
Reduce. They reduce to
reduce, schwa.
schwa, right?
Yeah. Either you type or I type.
All right, so I'll let you type. So that reduces to schwa and that reduces to schwa, right?
Right, but it
Yeah,
can't.
and this one should be schwa already because it's a preposition.
Right.
Okay. These two schwas cannot be side to side, side by side,
Right.
and this resolves to.
Hirdik.
You would think so, right? It
Yeah.
actually goes back to the historical vowel of the Segolit noun. Remember, the word is derech. Derech. It's a Segolit. But historically,
Maybe
we
you
say-
should go ahead. Sorry.
say his way, the vowel is dar ko. Dar ko. His way. So that's your historical vowel, which goes under the dalet. But why the dagesh, though?
Oh, I don't know.
Bedarche. Yes,
Bedarche aviv.
that's right. You see how we work
So-
through it backwards?
Yeah.
Because we start with the fact that this is historical long, that this is distant, that's distant, and that needs to be known before we start adding vowels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bedarche.
So,
Question?
and he did only. The way I have it written here, it just doesn't look right.
It's because we haven't seen relative haze very much.
But this vav here doesn't belong. Is it like this?
Well, it's because the word rak is an adverb, right? That will go before whatever it's modifying. So it's going to be rak hatov.
Ah,
It's like the word lo.
come on.
Lo will go whatever it's modifying, it will go before. Lo tov, not good. Vayelech darchei aviv.
Yeah. So this is like the. Oops, sorry. This is like.
Past narrative.
That's the way to think of it. To express
It
the
is-
past, write the future.
It is, hence the term conversive. It's horrible.
It's not where it came from, but it is pragmatically useful,
It is pragmatically useful.
which is why it's historically been the way it's explained.
So it'd be,
Okay. Now, before you point it, remember you got to drop off that hey.
yeah, the hay.
Because
doesn't
haze
go-
drop.
The hay goes away.
Hey goes away on third. hay
Good,
goes
good rhyme.
You know how to pronounce this one now? We've had it quite a bit.
Vayesh. Vayas.
Yeah, vayas.
Vayas.
Vayas, like vayomer, vayeled, vayvarech, the accent shifts on past narratives, right?
This is
Vayas.
because it's a segulet. That's why it shifts.
Mhm.
Because I mean, it only makes sense that it would shift. Look at what happens. We have Yaase becomes Vayase, and then the hay drops off, and then we have shva in this syllable. Shva is not it's not a vowel. It's the lack of a vowel. So where is the accent? It's here naturally. Vayas. And then when you add the vowel, you don't shift the accent back. You just leave it. Vayas. It's a result of the segulet construction. Does that make sense?
Can't figure out how to
Yeah.
point this sheen.
You got it.
Nope.
Well, we know what it is.
I've tried the keyboards.
The
tonight.
keyboard you have probably doesn't distinguish between the two of them.
No, it does. I've tried it
It must.
before. I just don't remember how.
Well, now it has a steam duct.
Ah, it's a different keystroke. Never mind.
Okay, so try it. Try to add it.
It's this one.
It does make sense for it to be a different keystroke for a different result.
Got it.
Telephone.
Vayas rak chatov.
And so you just point that like a definite article on a noun. A substantive adjective. Substantival, substantive, depending on who you talk to.
Okay, this is patach in an open
Grammatically, I want to say this for Jason's sake. This is not a noun. This is an adjective functioning like a noun. A substantive
If it walks like a
adjective.
dog and it talks like a dog.
Yeah, I know, Jason. We're fighting with this a-hole on one of the forums, and he's just Jason hates him more than I do, but my hate level is rising. What are you missing with Hatov? There you go. Be'enav.
Hatov.
Very nice. Very
Oh,
nice.
Tagesh.
Yeah, you finished. And the Sof Pasuk.
Vayas rak hatov be'enav. You would it.
I was about to ask because
Yeah.
I put et in my
Mhm.
translation.
You've got the verb vayas, he did, and hatov is the good thing, the good, and et needs to
Would you
be-
ever use Asher instead of Hatov there? Et Asher Tov? Because that's what he was wanting to do.
No,
Does that
we
ever
would
happen?
say today would say ma shetov. Ma
What is good?
shetov, what is good? Ma shetov.
Okay.
Vayas et ma shetov be'enav. Mhm.
You don't use Asher with adjectives, right? That's basically, it's never
Well,
linked with adjectives, is it?
You can, if you say, זאת האישה אשר טובה ביותר בעיניי. This is the best woman in my, this is the woman who is the best in my eyes.
Who
Or in
is
my-
the best? Okay.
זאת האישה אשר היפה ביותר בעיניי. The most beautiful woman in my eyes. The woman who is the most beautiful in my eyes. But that which was good in his eyes is a frozen expression in the Bible.
Right.
All right. Abram rejoiced greatly.
Samuel, take it.
Okay, I got it here.
Literally,
Whoa, Samuel.
what? He copied.
Whoa. He did. But you forgot your final mem.
I did. This was my last one. That's why I guess I was.
And you also forgot your bet needs a vowel in Abraham.
So this is, we could say, Abraham rejoiced ad me'od, like you did. I think that's what Weingreen said, ad me'od. I
Mhm.
think he gave you that, right?
Yeah.
Another way to say this in the Bible is to use a cognate accusative. A cognate accusative. So you would say, he rejoiced a great rejoicing. Vayismach Avraham simcha gdola. Simcha gdola. That is definitely a possibility. Vayismach Avraham simcha gdola. A great rejoicing. That's also a possibility. We have these fun cognate accusatives where simcha and samach are the same root. He feared a great fear. He
Yep.
rejoiced a great rejoicing. He loved a great love. That's also a neat possibility that you could throw in there.
Could you use the infinitive absolute?
For what?
For
Like,
this.
Samoach, samoach, samach,
something like that.
Avraham, samoach, samach. He certainly rejoiced. He surely rejoiced. It's not really the same.
He greatly rejoiced. Yeah. I mean, it's an adverbial infinitive, so it functions in an adverb. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it would necessarily be wrong. It'd be creative. I'm not sure if I would take off points if I were grading it.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, so like we said, that yilmad is a theme verb. Yilmad,
Mhm.
yishkav, lie down. Yirkav, to ride, like ride a chariot or horse or something, bicycle. Also, samach becomes not yismoch, which would, if it were old, it would have to be yismoach, because the chet doesn't sit on the end of the word. So it's yismach.
and gutturals prefer A-class vowels, right? So it
Yismach.
compensates it.
It's funny now
Yismach.
that when I'm thinking of these A-theme verbs, it's harder to think of the O-theme verbs. All I can think of is these ones. So I'm like, yishma, yismach, yirkav, yishkav, yilmad. Like these verbs are coming out really easy right now. Yishma, he will hear. It's not yishmoa. In all of these cases, though, the infinitive will still have the O vowel.
Yep.
So it's lilmod. Even though it's yilmad, it's lilmod, to learn. And lishkov, no, that's the only one that doesn't. This one is lishkav. That's the only one I know of that is it's ah. lishkav. To
That's
lie down.
weird.
People try to
Yeah,
make
I have
this
to write
one.
it down. Just look at what needs done.
People try to make this one the same. They try to say lil kav. People say it all the time, but it's a mistake. It's lil kov. Lismoach. No. Lismoach.
People make a mistake in their own language.
A lot. I correct people's Hebrew a lot.
I bet they love you for that.
Lismoach and lilmud. Yeah, when a foreigner comes and corrects your Hebrew.
Yeah,
People-
right, exactly.
Yeah.
You've been living there long enough.
Like me when I hear people say should off, would off.
Oh God!
Instead
Anybody
of would
could
have,
correct that.
should have.
That makes no sense.
Well, they vocalize, they spell out the contraction. Should have,
Right.
should have, should have.
Mhm.
Ugh. Oh, do you run into that often? Please tell me that don't do
On
that at
Facebook
graduate school.
all the time.
Oh, yikes! All right.
All
Admod
right.
ki vay. I assume that's ki vayeda. Oh, oops! It's not. It's yido. Yeah. But why do you have again? Why do you have the? It's the same thing with the vav consecutive that you had before.
There's an extra something there.
Well, you don't need the vav consecutive.
Oh, yes. I
Like
forgot about
the one before it.
that. Okay, let's start over.
So we've done so much reading about the vav consecutive and past narrative that you think past. Oh, it's past. It's vav consecutive. But remember, perfects are past tense too. After an embedding.
Embed-
Yes. Particle.
So it can't be after key or after a shell or after anything. Only clause initial. Mhm. And that's a major limiting factor of the verb consecutive.
For he knew. So would it be the?
Yeah.
He knew that the Lord was with his boy. Ah. That looks better.
So that is like the yod stands for plural.
I see. Right, because it's a singular noun.
I used na'ar for that, but if you used yeled, which you could,
Let me take that off. This would have the hole in it, right?
how would you, Jason? How would you distinguish between his boy and his girl? Oh,
Okay.
Yaldo and Yaldato. Yeah.
All right, what happens? Why does it keep going down?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So Yaldo
Yeah.
would
instead
would
of-
work.
So yeled is a segolet noun, right? Yeled.
Yes.
And what about na'ar that Jonathan suggested? Na'ar. Is that also a segolet noun?
Yes.
Na'ar. So the root of yeled is yald. Yald. And the root of na'al is nar. Right? If it had a case in English, naru, na'aru, naru. But the case ending dropped, and we have this consonant cluster that's ugly. And then they want to break up the consonant cluster, they would add a segol, but they don't add segol in this case, but atach, because it's guttural. So we get the word na'al. So now, when you add his, you get O, and you go back to having the consonant cluster, but the ayin has a echo vowel. Na'al. That would be the consonant cluster, right? The ayin resh,
Mhm.
but it has an echo vowel in it. Na'al. Na'al, his lad. It would normally be his servant. Yeah, but Yaldo is his boy. His boy, his lad. I don't see much of a semantic difference. All right.
Nope. That's time. Almost. We have 2 minutes. Why don't we call that a day? It's a good stopping point. So that reading in Gesenius for Thursday. And let's try to, I think we can finish reading 2 for next time, don't you? Maybe. We did, what did we just do? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did 5 verses in 2 days. We might be able to finish it. Maybe not. So get as far as you can.
Yeah.
Marcella, finish your damn paper so you're not stressed about it anymore.
Yes. Yes.
How are you guys feeling about these compositions?
I think they're fun. They're
Yeah, it's
very-
getting better. At first, it was really hopeless.
Yeah, but it's kind of fun once you get used to it, isn't it?
Slowly, yeah.
I remember I was up till midnight once in seminary. I think I may have told you this before. One of my best friends in seminary, we were working on this together, and I was just chugging along, having fun. And he's like super chill, kind of like Samuel, super chill and laid back. And finally he goes, "I hate this," and throws his pencil against the wall. I was like, whoa. I've never seen you express that much energy before. Such vehement hatred. So I'm glad you're having fun with it. All right. So yeah, so as you read, if you can, find see if you can track what Gesenius is saying and what he cites with what Cook cites in his article. Right? I
Mhm.
mean, just see if they overlap at all. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Have fun at work, Jason.
Yeah.
Finish your paper so you're not so stressed out. It'll feel better once it's done.
Yes.
I'm speaking from many years of experience on that one.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right.
See ya.
See you, folks.
Okay. Good night, guys.
Bye. Good night.